Let's try it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are excited about today's webinar. It's a part of our Ohio Business Matchmaker webinar series, and we're grateful that you were able to join us this afternoon. My name is Shonda Harris, and I'm a business opportunity specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration in Columbus, Ohio, the Columbus District Office. And today I will be your host, just helping to facilitate today's webinar. So today's webinar, we do have two agencies that we are grateful to be in partnership with. I believe both agencies will be at the Matchmaker. So you'll be finding out how to do business with DLA, Defense Logistics Agency, and that's DLA Land and Maritime here in Columbus, and also how to do business with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. So again, we're excited that you were able to join us, and we are always blessed to be able to provide tools and assistance, technical assistance to small businesses as they are either looking to start on their journey in doing business with the government, or they're looking to expand or grow in their efforts as a government contractor. Now, I've mentioned the Ohio Business Matchmaker, and some of you may be new to this platform. Some of you may be new to our Matchmaker event. So I'll just give you a little bit background about that. The Ohio Business Matchmaker is one of the largest procurement and buying events here in the Midwest. And so it is designed to help small businesses connect with government agencies and prime contractors. And so we do allow just our small businesses to have access to opportunities that will allow them to further grow their business and also collaborate. Now, we do provide training, networking events, and direct access to procurement opportunities that will be able to help you to succeed in the government contracting field. And so that is doing business with federal agencies, state agencies, even city and county that you're able to navigate amongst all those government entities. Now, this particular training, the Ohio Business Matchmaker, was designed to help give you valuable insights and keys as small businesses, again, to help you engage with the government and procurement buyers. And so we are able to put on this event and also this webinar. We partner with several different organizations, and we're grateful for their support and their partnership, one of which is the Ohio Apex Accelerator. And so before we actually get started and introduce our first presenter, do want to give the opportunity for our partner, the Ohio Apex Accelerator. Joey Scott is our statewide manager for the Ohio Apex Accelerator. So I want to give him a chance to give an overview about Apex, who they are and what they do, and the technical assistance they can provide to you as a small business. Joey?
Appreciate the introduction. As you heard, I'm Joey Scott. I'm the statewide director for our Ohio Apex Accelerator, and really excited to be collaborating with the SBA and other partners on the Ohio Business Matchmaker. So this is, I believe, the 17th year, as you may have heard, for the Ohio Business Matchmaker. And so it's a very collaborative effort. Really proud to be part of that effort. So Apex Accelerator, if you're not familiar with us, hopefully you are, but we provide government contracting assistance. So we are funded in part by the Department of Defense and the state of Ohio to assist you with all things government contracting. I always like to put our services into three buckets. Positioning yourself for success, achieving that success, and then kind of the catch-all of staying in the government marketplace. So in that first bucket, it is all about helping you position yourself to succeed. So partnering on events like this, helping you get registered in a system for award management, or if you're looking at state opportunities, registering as a supplier with the state of Ohio or any of the other 49 states. helping you look at market research to identify opportunities. We have a daily bid match service that can bring opportunities to your inbox every day. And then we also have a lot of research databases that we can utilize to aid you in your understanding of what agencies are buying, how they're buying it, and when they're buying it. So we are here to assist, helping you position yourself for success. Once you've found an opportunity, we can still assist you through analyzing that opportunity. The only thing we cannot do is write a proposal on your behalf. We are not an agent of your company, so we cannot write a proposal. However, we can critique your proposal and help you make sure it's as competitive and responsive as possible. Then we can also talk strategy, helping you develop one win into multiple wins, looking at other agencies, et cetera, et cetera. Again, we are here every step of the way and at every level. Whether you're looking to sell to the federal, state, or local government, we can assist. We also, the last bucket, the catch-all of staying in the procurement marketplace, help you with understanding compliance items. Some simple things as you need to renew your SAM registration each year, to more complex matters such as DoD's cybersecurity requirements. So helping you understand what it takes to remain a effective part of the defense industrial base or the government industrial base as a whole. We provide a lot of training events all throughout the year, virtual, in-person, hybrid. We try to make sure that we are bringing topics that are relevant to you. And we host events all throughout the year, and we collaborate like today as well with other partners. And with that, I will kind of pause there. I'd like to highlight some other programs that we are part of. The Ohio Procurement Internship Program, where that program is designed to train undergraduate college students on all things government contracting, where then they apply that knowledge during a summer internship with Ohio small businesses. This year's cohort just wrapped up, so we're going to be heading into the internship soon. But if you are interested in learning more about that program, please keep it in mind for next year and reach out. We also have a cybersecurity assistance program that we are rolling out later this month. And in fact, it will be highlighted on next week's webinar. So please keep an eye out for the Ohio Cyber Secure program, where you can receive free cybersecurity consulting. All right. From that, I will say thank you for your time. There's an Apex Accelerator near you. So if you are in Ohio or not, please reach out. Happy to get you connected with your local Apex Accelerator. So thank you, and I'll turn it back to you, Shonda.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joey. It's always a pleasure to be able to work with wonderful partners such as the Apex Accelerator. They do a wonderful job in helping small businesses navigate in the government contracting field. So with that, as you're listening to today's both presentations, if you hear something that you need a little bit more explanation, you need assistance with anything as it relates to you getting prepared for the Ohio Business Matchmaker, finding out about something as you're navigating into these waters with government contracting, it's a lot of information. So you don't have to do it alone. The Ohio Apex Accelerators have counselors, as Joey said, and all over Ohio that are there to help you at no cost. All right, with that said, I do want to introduce our very first speaker. And we are grateful to have Ms. Sharia Locklear, who serves as the Small Business Specialist and also the 8A and SBIR Program Manager at DLA Land and Maritime. Now, before we have Sharia start, we do have a few housekeeping items. So if you can make sure that you want to stay, if you're not presenting, that you are keeping yourself on mute and you have your camera off. And then also today's session is being recorded. So both the recording link and then also the slides will be uploaded to the Ohio Business Matchmaker website. And if you look at the chat, Joey Scott has uploaded the Matchmaker website, the link. So you can just click on that and click on the webinars at the top to be able to find both the links. And it'll take about 48 hours for both of those to get uploaded. And then secondly, as the presenter is sharing, if you do have questions, we ask that you open up the chat, type them in the chat, and I believe we'll just wait to the end of the presentation and we'll address the questions at the very end. All right, so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Sharia, and you can take it from here.
Okay, thank you so much. As Shonda said, my name is Sharia Locklear. I am with DLA Land and Maritime. I'm the 8A and Super Program Manager here. I have quite a bit of experience in post-award and also in large purchase buys. I'm here with DLA Land and Maritime. So today we are going to go over doing business with the Defense Logistics Agency, but more specifically, doing business with DLA Land and Maritime. So today in my presentation, we're going to go over DLA, who we are and what we do. We're going to talk about how to get started with DLA Land and Maritime. And we're also going to talk about how to find current DLA and federal opportunities, and then how to seek assistance. And then in conclusion, we'll have some different resources that can assist you when you're trying to buy. Who are we and what do we do? Here you can see what types of services and goods that DLA Land and Maritime purchases. The government buys from suppliers who meet certain qualifications. Standardized buying procedures and rules are outlined in the Federal Acquisition Regulation, which is also called the FAR. Each U.S. federal agency has slightly different individual procurement regulations, but all must follow a set of core laws and regulations, which is the FAR. Here you can see that our mission is to drive and sustain warfighter readiness by delivering unmatched global support as the nation's logistic, combat, and support agency. All of our values are listed here: respect, service, innovation, trust, and excellence. And we have a QR code here that you can scan once you receive the slides. That'll give you additional information on different types of things that we buy. Here are the different roles and missions that are supported throughout the different DLA organizations. The next slide will give more of a breakdown of exactly which agency buys certain products, because we all buy differently. Okay, so this is a slide that I want to get to. As you can see, for small businesses, we do over $18 million. This is from 2023. I need to update this because I'm sure it's even more than that now. Small business, most of all of DLA Land and Maritime, if it's under the simplified acquisition threshold, which is $250,000, our buys are automatically set aside for small businesses. However, we do make exceptions to that if there are certain instances where it wouldn't necessarily fit our needs for that. We have over 8.5 different suppliers throughout DLA, and we employ over 25,000 in our workforce. So here you can see the 6 major subordinate command business units. Troop support is they supply mainly substances, clothing and textiles, construction equipment, and medical. DLA Land and Maritime here in Columbus, Ohio. We purchase mainly repair parts for ground-based military systems. In aviation, they do repair parts for aviation systems, nuclear system, maps, industrial and plant equipment. In energy, they supply fuel and comprehensive energy solutions. And then at DLA Distribution, they do most of the global storage and distribution solutions. Disposition Services in Battle Creek, Michigan, they do more global solutions for disposal of excess property and document services. So here you can see we all buy differently, and depending on what type of business that you have is what you would need to contact based off of that, who you would need to contact. So how to get started. So the first step to getting started on how to sell to DLA is to acquire a DUNS or a new unique entity identifier. In order to do that, you need to go on to sam.gov and create a business profile there. And once you're registered in SAM, you'll have your unique entity ID, and then you'll be able to also determine what you can apply for different roles, such as being a woman-owned business. You can apply to be an 8A, and that's all through the SBA, and that is where all of that information will be listed in sam.gov. This is how the SAM website looks. You can see here that all the different things that you can search for, contract opportunities. I will say that DLA Land and Maritime, most of our contract opportunities are not going to be on SAM. That's not where you're going to find most of ours. However, for the other MSCs, that is where you would find most of the opportunities is in sam.gov. In SAM, you want to make sure that you are creating your small business profile. You want to make sure that you have your capabilities narrative, and you can also put what NAICS codes that you fall under, and any keywords or location, and also have your location and any contact information. So you do want to make sure that your information in SAM is updated as much as possible. So whoever your POC is, make sure you're putting a first and secondary POC listed there with updated information, so that if a buyer needs to get in contact with you, they have your information. In SAM, you'll also have your performance history, which will list, it will provide a location to promote a company. It also provides the company's best private, commercial, and government completed contracts. And it lists the highest contract and lowest contracts and shows your range of capabilities. And so you want to make sure that you're keeping all of that information current. We also have something called the SBA Dynamic Small Business Search. This is how the website looks. Buyers also use this to search for opportunities. Say, for an example, they have a NSN, which is a national stock number that they are trying to fulfill, and we didn't have any quotes. And so they're going out and trying to find a small business that could possibly fulfill that order. They can use this to, for an example, search for an 8A, search for a hub zone, search for women-owned. And so once you get your certification from SBA and you load that into the system, that is a good way that buyers will be able to find you. So on the small business search, you're going to see here that you're able to put in your capabilities narrative. So you want to make sure that this is very specific so that when buyers are looking at this, they understand what you do and what you provide. You also want to make sure that you have a name and a contact and address that is up to date. Before you can sell to DLA, you also need to register in DLA Internet Board System. That's also called DIBS. Here's the website here. This is where you would go to search for opportunities. So if we have a solicitation that is out for goods, you can search that here. You can also look at previous awards if you want to see how previous awards were quoted to make sure your price is competitive. You can look there. You can just look for all of our opportunities will be listed here, unlike some of the other MSCs where they are listed in SAM. In order to do business with DLA Land and Maritime, you will need to be registered in DIBS, and this is how you search for opportunities. So on the DLA Internet Board System, also known as DIBS, you can view solicitations and submit quotes. You can view requests for proposals. That's what an RFP is. You can view long-term contract opportunities. Here you can access drawings and technical data, which is also known as C folders. You can access forecast, estimate information, and you can also access the supplier performance risk system. And you will see an asterisk here next to C folders and SBRS because you do need a separate certification in order to access those folders. So there is a different process that you would need to go through in order to access those folders. Here are the different DIBS registration steps. You can read through these. If you have any issues with registering for DIBS, or if you get locked out, there's an email address here listed, and they can assist you with getting your information unlocked. But I will just want to, put some on making sure that all of your information is current, and making sure that when you register for DIBS, you will get a physical mailing address verification. It's a postcard that is mailed to your address. You will use that postcard in order to fully register for DIBS. So that's an important step and something that you should be looking out for when you register that initial time. To avoid disruption in accessing DIBS, please be aware of the DIBS terms of use. Any reasonable suspicion that a vendor's account has been compromised or is being used to adversely impact the automated procurement system is a reason why it will be locked out. Any misrepresentation made in DIBS will cause you to be locked out. If a vendor fails to provide documentation requested by a contracting officer under any purchase order necessary to validate contractor's information submitted in DIBS, you can be locked out. So there's different reasons here. So you just want to make sure that you're not sharing your account information with unregistered or unauthorized users. That will also cause you to be locked out. And it can take up to a week in order to get unlocked from this system. So it's very important to make sure that you're following the necessary rules to ensure that your account stays active. There's some different useful links here. GSA also provides award management. There's a DoD Cage Code program, and the DLA export control data can help you with getting your CFOlders registration. And then also Apex Accelerators is a wonderful resource for anything like this. If you're having trouble getting access to DIBS, or if you're having trouble getting into SAM, if you need someone to walk through that process with you, they can assist you. But also your small business office at any of the MNCs can also assist you with this information. So where to find current DLA and federal opportunities? As stated, most of the information for most of the quotes will be, most of the solicitations for DLA Land and Maritime will be on DIBS. So there's different types of solicitations. There's a request for quotation. This is under SAT. Under SAT is the simplified acquisition threshold, and that's $250,000. So that's any award that has a contract value of $250,000 or less is called a request for quotation. And that will be listed under an RFQ. And here is what that will look like on the website. The average award is usually less than or over $4,000. So that is just something to keep in mind. Requests for proposals are over SAT, so that's over $250,000, and solicitations must be completed and returned by a determined date and time. And here is what the request for proposals would look like on the DIB screen. How DLA MSCs buy. So we have what we call approved cage code and part numbers. And that means that the manufacturer has already approved that part in order for our customers to use. Approved sources for dealers and distributors. I get questions a lot about how do I become an approved dealer or distributor for a manufacturer? That is a relationship that you have to develop yourself. We try not to get involved with directly matching manufacturers and distributors together, because that is upon the manufacturer and distributor to develop those relationships. So we do have, if you see a manufacturer that's listed as a cage and part number, you can definitely reach out to them and say, hey, I want to know how I can become a distributor or a dealer for your company. But there is no list necessarily out there with all of the approved manufacturers and the corresponding part numbers. That's just something that you would have to research. If you have, for an example, you know that you have a widget that you could be a distributor for this manufacturer or something like that, that is something that you can search on DIBS and then contact the manufacturer in order to see if you can get it approved. We also have opportunities that are fully competitive, meaning that we have drawings available, and that's in C folders, that any manufacturer can quote on or any dealer can quote on if you can provide that part. It does need to be manufactured exactly to what the drawing states. And in order to see those drawings, you will have to get approved in C folders in order to do that. We also have source control via approved sources type drawings. Basically, those are drawings that you have to be an approved source in order to obtain. The government does not have authority to provide that information to you because it is, for an example, General Motors. They have drawings and it is only their drawings, and they do not share those drawings with the government, and so we therefore cannot share them with you. We also have qualified products and manufacturers lists. Those are called QPLs and QMLs. That basically for products and manufacturers, it means that you have to get, for an example, if something has a battery in it, we are saying you have to get this battery from this specific manufacturer in order for it to be approved, even if it comes within a kit. If there are certain products or manufacturers that we're saying you have to get that particular product or that particular manufacturer has to approve it, that's where you have to get it from. So what is OnDibs? 90% of our solicitations are automated via the DLA Internet Board system. So we have an automated system. If you see a solicitation that has a V in the 9th position, that is a T in the 9th position for an automated solicitation, you will see that that is an automated award, and the system is actually going out and potentially awarding that. 15% of our NSNs are actively purchased our 1G items, and those 1G items are the ones that I was speaking about earlier, where we have access to the drawing. We have different DLA attachments in shipyards. Here you can see the different types of programs that they have, and each of the detachments have a small business program manager. For Aberdeen and for Mechanicsburg, Amelia Zysky is the project manager for that. So if you have any questions about shipyard or detachment type things, any type of procurement that supports the Army CECOM's Integrated Logistics Support Center, or the Navy's WSS for the acquisition of new depot level repairables, you can contact her and she can assist you. DLA Warren is also, they do repairable spare parts, and you can contact Carlo Dalo for that. And here are the different email addresses for the other different detachments. So where do you go if you need assistance? This is our office. There's me, Sharia Locklear. As I stated, I'm the 8A and SIPR program manager. Each one of us have our own programs that we manage, so it does really help if you are interested in mentor and protege programs. You can contact Alonzo Burris. If you are a woman and you have a woman-owned small business program, you can contact Donna Moreno Blackwell. She's also over the HubZone program. And then we have Brian Walker, who is over the small disadvantaged veteran-owned small business program, and he can assist you. And we also have a tech advisor that can assist you with different opportunities. So if you're looking at a drawing and you're not really sure whether or not you can supply this material, or if you need some assistance with that, you can contact Cornelius Carruthers and he can assist you. And we have a Deputy Director, Matt Elliott. He's very helpful in all things. And then our director is Kristen Harris, and he is over the small business office. Here are the different email address listed for the different MSCs. Each one of the MSCs has their own small business office. So if you have questions, if you are interested in supplying textiles, you can email Troop Support at their email address. If you're more into machining and spare parts and that nature, DLA Laird Maritime can assist you, and there's our address. And then all of the different email addresses, phone numbers are listed here as well. Information technology services is a big one. I know everything with AI is going on right now. So the email address for the small business programs for that area is the DSDO at .smallbusiness@dla.mil. They're very helpful. And then distribution also has a small business office, and that email address is listed there. Here are additional information. And since you'll get all these slides, you can use that. So the DLA here at Land & Maritime, we offer free monthly webinars and bi-monthly training, knowledge, and opportunity seminars, which is a 2-day training. It's free. Our next one is May 14th and 15th. It is in person here at Columbus, Ohio. But we do offer online webinars. The next one that will be a webinar is June 10th and 11th, and that is actually Apex only. So if you are an Apex Accelerator, you can attend that. Otherwise, there is one July 8th and 9th that you can register for on our website, which is listed here. We have different webinars and trainings throughout the year that is very helpful. We have trainings on packaging, we have trainings on CMMC, we've got trainings on DIBS, et cetera, that really take a deep dive into how to do business with DLA Land & Maritime, because we want to make sure we are setting you up to be successful with our agency. And we want to make sure that not only when you receive an award, you are aware of how to ship that award, you are aware of how to get paid for said award. So the TKO is really, really helpful because it gives a beginning to end process with Land & Maritime. And I will tell you, it is specifically tailored for Land & Maritime buys. We do not go over energy or troop support, things like that, just because that's not something that we directly deal with. But it is specifically for Land & Maritime. And these are just some of the other things that we do here in the office. We can assist you with questions related to requirements at DLA Land & Maritime and act as a liaison if necessary. We go out to conferences and do matchmaking outreach events to promote DLA Land & Maritime. And we also provide technical assistance to small business and matches capabilities to open requirements. So we are here as a wonderful resource to help you become successful here as a small business, and we want to make sure that we're giving you any opportunity that can be provided to you. This is how our website looks. You can see on the left side of the screen that there is an outreach calendar. If you click on that calendar, all of our different webinars will come up, and then you can sign up there. You can also see all of our different major support unit command, also MSC, and buying activity flyers, and it kind of gives you an overview of what each DLA organization buys. And you can also look for vendor opportunities. I believe that is where you can find like the no bid list. And there is just a wonderful resource, like a vendor hub for small businesses to assist you. There's also some cybersecurity resources listed on the website. I know that's a huge thing right now. So if you need any assistance with that, you'll see Apex Accelerators listed there as a wonderful source to be able to understand compliance with DoD cybersecurity requirements. So this, again, is the Training, Knowledge, and Opportunity Seminar that we have bi-monthly. It goes over how to get started with DLA, all the different small business programs. It gives an overview of pricing. It explains solicitations holding on DIBS. It explains how to submit an alternate offer, understanding quality requirements, packaging, how to acquire drawings, layer workflow, and it allows you to ask any questions that you may have, and you can once again be able to go to the outreach calendar there. And here's just some points of contact that can assist you if you get stuck at anywhere along the way when you're trying to do an award or reach a payment. Okay, and just to review, we went over DLA, Land and Maritime, who we are, what we do, talked about how to get started and how you have to make sure that you're registered in SAM first, and that you also need to be registered in the Small Business Dynamic Search tool in order for buyers to be able to understand what your capabilities are. And we also talked about how you need to search for DIB, get on DIBS and search for opportunities there. And then I gave you different resources that you can use to seek assistance if there's any questions that you may have once you get started. All right, and if you guys have any questions.
All right, thank you so much, Sharia.
You're
And
welcome.
I don't know if, we didn't have anybody. I don't know if there's any feedback that's coming from your line, Sharia, or not.
Okay.
But does anybody, thank you so much, Sharia. It's good to see that you guys are still doing the TKOs. They've been doing those for years. I know we used to come and present. Do they have Apex Accelerator still coming to present? And is it a 2-day
Yes.
training?
Yep, we still have Vicki Harthorne. She comes and just does a presentation. She comes in to do the in-person, and then she's online for the webinar. So she's very helpful. She gets a ton of questions. And then, like I said, in June, we have an Apex only webinar for just Apex accelerators, which is very helpful. But yes, so the May 14th and 15th will be in person at Columbus, Ohio. You can still register for that. And then the next one for contractors will be July 8th and 9th, and that is a webinar. And you can go onto our website and register for that as well.
Awesome. So those are some really great training, 2-day free training that's offered at DLA, Land and Maritime, and just kind of go over from nuts to bolts what you need to do if you're interested in doing business with DLA. So I don't see any questions in the chat, and that usually is unusual. I don't even see one. So
Okay.
it's always wonderful to see. I know some of the small businesses I work with do have contracts at DLA, so it's just always great to see what you guys are doing. I always learn something new. I think there's a different division there that I wasn't aware of, a buying division there. So again, thank you for that. And I don't see any questions. If questions do come up, we can always take them at the very, very end after our next presenter. But again, thank you so much, Sharia Locklear, for that. And again, if someone were interested again in that TKOs, if you can type those in the chat as we get ready to transition, and then maybe put in the link for, I believe you do have to register on your website if you're interested in attending. And I know those were pretty popular, and I did think only a certain amount of individuals, and that may have filled up pretty quickly. So if you can put that information in the chat, that would be great. And
yep, I will do that.
Awesome. So we are going to transition to our next presenter. And if you can stop sharing your slide, Sharia, that would be great.
Let me see, I didn't think that I was. Yeah, it's not saying that I'm sharing still.
We're good to go if Demetrius would like to share his.
Okay. And as Demetrius is getting set up, Demetrius is the small business specialist and industry liaison for the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. And, all right, thank you. So we're just grateful that we were able to have them present this year. I think this is the first time, even though they were at the Matchmaker last year, I think this is the first time that we've had him as a presenter. And it is wonderful because I do believe they do have some offices here in Ohio. I believe one of the firms that I work with had some contracts with them. So it's just grateful to be able to add some additional agencies that are local, that there may be some potential opportunities for you as a small business. So with that, Demetrius, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, and you can take it from here.
Okay. Can you guys see the slides?
Yes, they look good.
Okay. All right. Thank you. It's kind of hard to follow Sharia's presentation there, so I'll do my best. All right. With all the things going on. But like Shonda said, I'm Demetrius Smith. I'm the small business specialist, industry liaison, and for Customs and Border Protection. I originally was working out of Indianapolis, but COVID hit and they just went on and switched my workplace to home here in Ohio. So I'm right outside of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where I actually, that was my last active duty base, and I actually retired as a reservist from the 445th Air Wing over there as well. So 22 years with an Air Force uniform on in some shape or fashion. All right, let me get through these slides. And I think after listening to Sharia's presentation, a lot of stuff that I would have covered, she covered, so I don't need to. And that's just the nature of government contracting. You come across a bunch of things that everyone uses and things of that nature. So, when I was putting my slides together, I actually got to peek at hers and start taking things out. So here we go. All right. CBP dual mission is security and facilitation. Our goal is to stop terrorism, stop bad people and things, inhibit transnational criminal organizations, prevent illegal entry, block drug and human smuggling, prevent disease transmission, prevent agricultural disease, secure national events, assist with disaster relief. That's on the security side. But when it comes to facilitation, there's to collect customs revenue, process incoming travelers, inspect imports, protect intellectual property, consumer safety. And you can see we do some of everything. And when I approach contractors saying, well, what do you guys buy? We buy just about everything. We're not buying major weapon systems like you would with a DoD based organization such as Air Force or Army or whatever. But other than that, we buy everything because we touch about everything that goes on in this country and outside this country. So a lot of people don't know. When you see people trying to bring in fruits from Mexico or South America or something, getting stopped, getting them taken away from them, that's because there's diseases and everything else that's like known in other places that are that can be spread through bringing in those fruits. So yeah, that's why we're like the mean guys, I guess. Our profile right now, it would be bad, except for we have ICE as also a DHS, Homeland Security Agency. So next to them, we're poster children for good behavior. So our setup, you see, we have our new secretary, Kristi Noem, who's over Homeland. And I don't think they've confirmed the new CBP secretary yet. Or commissioner. So, but this is the breakdown of the people that, they'll make decisions that eventually flow down to the program offices. And this is how purchasing gets done through the Enterprise Services Organization, which handles all of the purchasing for all the different program offices. So, and we do it for the Office of Finance, Human Resource Management, Training Development, Facilities, Asset Management, Information Technology, and there we sit over it as the Office of Acquisition, OA. My office is called the Industry Partnership and Outreach Program Office, and it comprised of our director, Ms. Julie Koo, myself, Ms. Yvette Jorge, and Mr. David Herod. We're dual-hatted as small business specialists and industry liaison. So we work with small businesses as well as large businesses wishing to do business with Customs and Border Protection. So here's a breakdown of the different contracting divisions as well. So our acquisition profile deals with U.S. Border Patrol, which is the main program office. Actually, most people think that Customs and Border Protection is just Border Patrol, but no, we also have an information technology office, facility and asset office. We have air and marine operations as well. We have field operations, the enterprise services, and our operations support, dealing with our labs, intel, and security. So we're all over the board. Here's DHS goals from fiscal year 24 and the accomplishments. As you can see with Customs and Border Protection, we had a small business prime goal of 41%, that's really high. Unfortunately, we didn't hit it. We only hit 34%. And part of the reason why is we had a BPA that was set up to deal with emergency shelters. For some strange reason, they only had 4 contractors originally, and 2 of them did all the work for FEMA, and 2 of them did all the work for Customs and Border Protection. Then one of them stopped, so all the work went to the one. They became super large, and they had to recertify from being a small disadvantage-owned business to being a large business. And those sole source awards that went to them dipped our numbers to 34. So as you can see, prime goal was 19%. We only hit 15. We hit our hub zone mark, topping the 3% by making 4.1. Services SDVOSB, sorry, was 5%. We hit 6.65, and women owned, we eked by, but we made it. But when you take our scorecard and put it in with all of DHS as a whole, we exceeded. And our former OSDBU director, she retired, was probably the greatest advocate for small businesses that you would find in a government organization. Ms. Darlene Bullock had 14 years straight of being a large agency, having an A+ rating with SBA. So I hope it continues with whoever replaces her, but that's an amazing accomplishment. So you need people like that in your corner when you're a small business. So, and just showing you, they kept our goals almost the same, except for our prime goals for fiscal year 25 goes down to 5%. Still want our small business goal to be up there at 41. 3% hub zone, 5% service disabled veteran owned, and then women owned 5%. don't know why we were handed such a weird combination there, but that's what it is now. Going into for fiscal year 25, we're still at 41.5%, and we still deal with that BPA that used to be small contractor that's large. So subcontracting goes, they're actually up from last year. It's 43% last year. This year they want us at 47%. So they're looking to make sure that we keep small businesses involved in everything that we do at Customs and Border Protection, and also with DHS. So there were $5.7 billion obligated by Customs and Border Protection. 34% of it went to small businesses, 15% to small disadvantaged, 7% to service disabled, 8% veteran-owned, 6% women-owned, 7% hub-zone, 4% to 8As. And I think that 8A number was actually originally included into that small disadvantaged business number. Not sure, but I'm quite positive it was. But we do a lot of small business transactions. So right now, we're hitting our small business goal. We're missing it. We're at 24%. Let's see, small disadvantage, including 8A, we're at 10% right now. Hub zone 3%. Service disabled veteran owned, we're at 9%, and women owned, we're at 3%. So we have some work to do in some areas. It's still early, and the way the money's been flowing to our organization has been a hindrance to really getting to a lot of the projects that we have listed out there in our acquisition planning forecast system. So as Sharia was saying, there's different places to find opportunities, sam.gov. I'm going to give you guys a quick demonstration of our acquisition planning forecast system because I think it's one of the best in the government. I know GSA is trying to consolidate and take over everybody's forecast systems, but they were really interested in how ours worked. So hopefully they use ours as a model, not shaming any other agency or anything. I just know what it was like in the Air Force and GSA and the VA. Previous places I worked, their forecast systems weren't up to par. We got, if you ever need anything, send an inquiry to us at our small business office at cbp.dhs. General industry questions usually come into our procurement-IPOP mailbox. That's the mailbox we also take unsolicited proposals in. Okay. And another thing that's unique to Customs and Border Protection, we actually have a portal that allows contractors to go in and request meetings directly with the program offices, and that's the CBP Business Connect. So, and like I say, I'll show those things in a second. See, we do a virtual how to do business with Customs and Border Protection the first and third Tuesdays of each month. There's the link to go up and sign up for it. I also provided a list of all the small business specialists for Department of Homeland Security. So you get Customs and Border Protection, FEMA, Secret Service, Coast Guard, all of them. DHS, our OSDBU was given permission by SBA to establish our own mentor protege program. So prior to leaving and retiring, Darlene Bullock took about a year to get it up and running. It came online November 1st of 2024. So that's the link if you're interested. I also provided a link to all of the prime contractors that we have at DHS. And when you click on it, it'll give you a contact person to reach out to see if it's a possibility to become a subcontractor. And I also put in our DHS OSDBU web address there. So points of entry into CBP and DHS, these one-on-one meetings, the reason I provide the small business specialist, you can send an email to them, reach out and try to set up a meeting with them. We attend industry days, or we sponsor industry days, I'm sorry. Actually, the next one for CBP is coming up July 31st. It was originally supposed to be held on March 31st, but just because of some changes within the organization and trying to find out what direction the current administration wants that office to go, it'll be held July 23rd. Yeah, that's it. It's posted on sam.gov. We post our requirements out to SAM. So if you see an RFI out there in your small business and that's something that you can do, please respond. Because we want to make sure that the rule of two does apply if there's a couple of you out there, so you're not fighting with the large businesses. Let's see. DHS has
Demetrius,
yes.
Demetrius, this is Shonda. Can you explain? It's good to hear about all the great things you guys are doing. That industry day, is that here locally in?
No. Yeah, industry day, it'll be virtual.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be virtual for the we call them PMOD. They're the Program Management Office of Border Patrol. So, and they'll be pretty much they'll be talking about their current capabilities, but their desired future state, with some of the things they would like to see their organization gain to help them in doing their mission. So it should be pretty interesting because they'll probably have a focus on AI and things of that nature and how they think AI can help them. And they're looking for contractors to help them bring them solutions. So,
Okay.
But yeah, it's on sam.gov under Customs and Border Protection.
Okay, and I was also going to ask, you mentioned about the rule of two, and I just wanted to see if you could explain. I'm sure maybe someone on here may not know what that is, but if you can just give an explanation about what is the rule of two.
Right. Well, when any, it's supposed to be any government agency, when they're sitting there trying to figure out how they want to do a procurement, and can a small business actually, one of the first things they need to determine, do you think a small business can do it? Then they develop their requirements at whatever, or some sample ones, put them out there, and people respond back to their request for information. If they go through and evaluate all their responses, if there are not two small businesses that they found that were suitable, then it will be a full and open competition. But if two small businesses they feel can do the work, then it'll be a small business set aside. So, and that's why we say, hey, if you see something out there that you can do, respond for it. Don't just wait for the RFP or RFQ to drop. You want to try to hit them in the kneecaps, the large businesses early, where they'll be reaching to you saying, well, this is a small business set aside. We can do it. Hey, can we be your sub? Sometimes it's good to wear the big boy shoes. So make them your sub or whatever, but respond. And if you know of another small business that does the same thing, tell them to respond too, because you really want to narrow the playing field down as much as possible. And sometimes it's just hard for people that's doing technical evaluations to see through the forest when they start seeing, oh, I'd rather pick this company with 26 vice presidents because they have 26 vice presidents, so they must know what they're doing. There's a bias against small businesses when you get to a lot of these program offices, because if they haven't heard of you, they don't think you can do the work, which is not the case. Small businesses, we know you guys perform more than adequate when you're given the opportunity. So, all right. Did that help?
Yes, thank you. I just want to make sure, just sometimes I know some people may be new to federal government contracting and they may
Right.
not be familiar with the term. So just providing that explanation, but that was great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There's a couple other things on the slide. Key resources for strategic sourcing. Our government-wide contract vehicles that we utilize, they're out there. Our DHS strategic sourcing vehicles, there's a link for all of those as well. Let's see. And that's the website for all of the DHS prime contractors. Like I said, read earlier, did I leave that in there twice? Oh, well, sorry. Oh, well. I even show a Coast Guard picture. Like I said, I did a whole representation of the entire agency or Department of Homeland Security just because. I'm going to end this show now, and I'm going to stop sharing for a second, but I'm going to share back because there's something I want to show you guys real quick. Because I was bragging about it, so I need to make sure that you guys get it. So our acquisition planning forecast system, it allows you to go in there like sam.gov. You can go in there and subscribe, get emails to you for different NAICS codes and stuff like that. But the ease of use of this thing is just ridiculous. So right now, this is all of the forecasted opportunities for the Department of Homeland Security. Currently, there's 842 entries. You see TSA, you see CBP, you see USCIS, you see FEMA. So everybody's represented in here. The search feature is great. You can search if you know the acquisition plan forecast number and you don't want to go through all of these things. You can just punch in that number and get it. You can search by component. You can search by NAICS codes, which makes life easier for everybody. You can search by if it's going to be set aside for a different a certain small business program. You can search if it's going to be awarded off of a certain contract vehicle or something like that. We let you know if it's a follow-on contract or it's a new requirement. Tells you the place that the work will be done and the dollar range of and forecast when it was published, what type of contract, small business set aside, again, or full and open. So all of those things are out there posted. Oh, this thing is giving me, let me clear this. Clear. Okay. Well, anyway, so one of the easy use things that we talk about with it is not only do you find out it'll be awarded against a GSA schedule, it'll be a firm fixed price, it'll be a small business program, so small business set aside. They tell you the anticipated award quarter, estimated solicitation release date. You get the full description where it'll tell you also where the work is being done. But the thing that makes ours more unique is a lot of organizations, they point to who the contract specialist or the contracting officer is. Ours puts you right in contact with the people that's in the program office. So these are the people that know the requirement. So if you have a technical question or you're sitting there trying to decide that, I don't know if we should go after this or we should just wait for the RFP or RFQ to come, and you're sitting there adjusting bodies around to take a deep dive into this for when it gets released. But you have some questions, you can send your questions directly to the POCs that's listed. You can try to call them, probably won't answer, but email is your best bet, and send an email to them, ask your questions, as long as it's not contract related, and you keep it with the technical, they'll respond. And we always say to make sure you get the response back to include include the small business specialist for that organization. So let's see, the one we just had up is Coast Guard CG 914. So we come over here to the small business specialist, and that link was in the thing there. So here's Coast Guard. Coast Guard has over 20 plus small business specialists. So you kind of need to know, remember I said that's CG 914. So that's SILC, SILC, SILC. Geez. All right. Did I start too late? Or did I miss them? CG94 would be covered by the CG913 and CG912 and 9128. So actually with this one, sort of a bad example, but you could probably reach out to CG913 and have them point you in the right direction because they're with the headquarters, so they should know. And say you want to run a report and you need to pass it around to the people in your office and have them do a deep dive into the things that's available. You can come put in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, sorry. Spreadsheet's up. I just had to do some housekeeping on it first. So here's the spreadsheet because whatever I had selected from a previous showing of it, it was like only 10 things listed, but that works well. But like I say, so you get the acquisition planning number, APFS number, you get the NAICS codes, you get the component, you get the title, whether it's a firm fixed price contract or not, contract vehicle, dollar range. And all of this stuff is important because it lets you know, like, oh man, that's $100 million, probably something I can't handle, you know, but let me find a large contractor so I can be a sub to. Tells you if it'll be a set aside or full and open. And sometimes they go full, although it'll be full small business competition. Don't understand, but a lot of that section H is filled in by people in the program office and they don't understand all the nuances of contracting by them putting full. So, but you see, it'll be small business program for the first one, women owned, small business. So those are small business competitions. This one's going to be an 8A competition because it's between 10 and 20 million. If it would have been 4.5 million, then it would have been an 8A direct award. Tells you follow on a new requirement here, but when it's a follow on, you get the current contract. So if you want to go to fpds.gov and take a look at that contract and so you can see how the pricing went, that could help you in preparing your pricing for the new solicitation, then go for it. It gives you the current contractor, place of performance, the state, and here's the primary contact. These are the people in the program office. So O through R, if you put it in the spreadsheet, tells you Karita King, that's her phone number, that's her email address. You can send a message to her. There's a description of the requirement, estimated award quarter here, estimated solicitation release, and when it was published in our forecast, and if it was previously published and then had to be republished. So like I say, I'm not bragging, but this is a lot better than everything else I've seen. And sorry, I don't know what DLA has, so sorry. I can only speak on a generalization of some other agencies, but so yeah, that's that. We also have the CBP Business Connect, where say you can take company, come on here and request a meeting with Office of Acquisition, Office of Information Technology, Field Operations, our innovation team, Border Patrol, Office of Trade. You click on the icon just to figure out what they do, to see if these are the people you want to talk to, so you can get an overview of the organization. But you would just bring it up back out here to home. Yeah, okay. So you would just, you just sign up here. If your company wants to figure out how to do business with Customs and Border Protection, that link is right here on the CBP Business Connect page, but I also included separately in the slides just because. So you come in here, request training, and like I said, we do it the first and third Tuesdays of every month, 1:00 p.m. and it goes to about 2:30, I think. So yeah, if it's me, I talk a lot, so it's gonna go to 2:30. But if it's everyone else, they can actually get you guys out of there faster. So, all right, that's it for me. Any questions?
Wow, thank you so much, Demetrius. I didn't realize just all of the things that Customs and Border Patrol covered. And you guys, I always learn something new when we have these. It's amazing. So we do have a question. And I actually like that you did the demonstration. And I think that that's wonderful that you're able to set up a meeting and go to the different divisions. But it looks like Dan says it looks like he needs a special email address. The email address must start with APFS and must be followed by any 4 alphanumeric characters of your choice. Not quite sure, Dan, what you were asking. You can come off mute if that's okay with Demetrius, or
Yeah, no, that's fine.
yeah, Dan, if you want to come off mute and just kind of clarify what you were trying to ask. Dan? You were off, Dan?
Okay, yes. What it was, it looks like I've got to have a .mil or a .gov in order to get into that AAPFS connection.
Now,
I'm looking at a screenshot and I literally just logged in for requests and it said that you needed an MIL. And I can do this with you, Demetrius, later or something, if that's okay.
okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yes.
Like I say, it's whether it's the APFS or the CBP Business Connect, I think those are two great things
Yes.
that allow us, because our role as small business specialists, at least in Homeland Security, is we want to foster the communication between the contractors and the people they need to really talk to, whether that's the program offices or even if it's the contract specialist or contracting officer. We're the conduit to make things happen. So,
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Are there any other questions? I know it was wonderful to hear, and I think your agency needs to be commended that you met your HubZone goal. I know that is typically hard for agencies to meet that goal. You guys were able to meet that. That's wonderful to hear. And that also didn't know that you had a mentor protege program. We're getting ready to do a webinar on the mentor protege program in, I believe, on April 16th. So I didn't realize that your agency now has a program. So that's also good to know. Just started at the end of the year. Are there any additional questions? Demetrius, will be at the Matchmaker, I believe, this year. And so if you're interested in coming to the Matchmaker, that is one agency that will be there. And you do get an opportunity at the Matchmaker to sit down with the buyers, the procurement personnel from these agencies, federal, state, city, local, municipalities, even some transit authorities are going to be there. Another organization, I believe, the SOAR District, we just found out, is going to be there. So you get a chance to meet with them face to face, kind of pitch your capability statement. So I don't see any questions. I believe there was a question for DLA, and Lawrence, we did, Ms. Locklear sent that information. I put that in the chat. Are there any questions for either Demetrius or Sharia about Custom and Border Protection and DLA? I think it's wonderful that both organizations do have training for you to find out more information about their organizations, where you can go to get more information. So that's wonderful. But are there any other questions? If I'll give everybody an opportunity to put those in the chat, I will wrap up with some last minute announcements. And again, just want to thank Demetrius for his presentation. Thanks Sharia for her presentation. And again, both the links for the recording and the link for their presentations will be uploaded to the Ohio Business Matchmaker website. So underneath each of the webinars, you should be able to find those links. Give us about 48 hours to get those posted. And we'll continue on with the series next week. I believe our webinars are doing business with GSA and how to apply to get on a GSA schedule, and then also cybersecurity overview and updates on the Cyber Sitter program. So you can go to the Matchmaker website to register for those. And then also you can also register for the Ohio Business Matchmaker, which will be April 23rd and 24th down in Dayton at the Nutter Center. So we definitely want to see you attend the event. And that first day of the Matchmaker is a half day of training. We'll have 3 panel sessions. Another panel was just added. So we'll have a small business panel and a panel for the transit authorities, and also a panel with a sponsor that was just added. So we're looking forward to that. And then we'll close up that first night with a reception. So sometimes we do have some of our buyers that come in, and our small businesses. It's a great way for you to connect at that reception. And then you do get ready for the full day of matchmaking on the 24th. So that is definitely a long day. We start at 8 and we go all day with those sessions. And you are, if you sign up with your NAICS codes and your keywords, and you're able to get matched with agencies that are looking to buy what you sell. And so that will be sent out to you, I think, closer to the Matchmaker event. With that, I was just trying to give some last minute announcements. I don't see any additional questions, so I'm not going to hold everyone. Again, thank you so much for your time today. I want to thank our presenters, Mr. Demetrius Smith with Custom and Border Protection, Sharia Locklear with DLA, and always grateful that you were able to join us today. And again, we do look forward to seeing you at the Matchmaker. Come up, let us know who you are, that you participated in the webinar, participate in the rest of the webinars that we have leading up to the Matchmaker. And with that, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.